I can feel
Okay.
the lack of energy in
I
the group tonight.
I'm soldiering through to the best of my ability anyway. From what I remember last time, Clint was introduced, obviously, as someone who helped out Davril on a few occasions and plugged Davril as a trustworthy source of work and information for basically for hire. He sent Clint to meet up with the gang to help them, mostly in a gambit to get rid of him because he's a kind of a talker. Then the group, I forget what they did with the book, but there was an evil Nomicon that had to be dealt with. I think it was pawned for information.
No, we didn't. I don't think we did anything with it, because I never really got a full answer of what was going on with it.
I gave you like a synopsis of it. It was how to cult 101.
Yeah. I thought someone traded information to Davril for something, or there was another job offer about trading information or something
It
like
was
that.
from the heist where we required the dogs. We gave that information to Davril. I think that's
Gotcha.
what we ended up doing.
Okay, so that happened. We still have the book. Then it's just stashed away.
Ferris had enough time to look through it, and it's essentially a light version. It has a couple rituals in it, but they don't really seem to be worth all that much. And it's very much a beginnings of getting into worshiping Asmodeus and what you must do to become a actual member, what you must practice, and what you must idealize, and stuff like that.
Okay. Do we have to know to? Sorry. Do we have to roll to know? Well, never mind. Feyre, I know Feyre did not share that with Clint at the very least. So
Yeah,
there's no point in
Feyre
asking.
hasn't
what we have to
really
roll.
shared much about that book beyond it's just something to do with demons.
Mm-hmm. So that happened. Then, well, we did not go to Davril for work, which I was trying to push for, but instead we did more of the basey build stuff. So we hired a team of halflings to build, and then met up with a brewer. Let me think. So we met up with the. Oh, there was a talent show. That was fun. It was a brief foray into showing off a small portion of what. Oh my God, Clint! What Clint can do. Then we met back up at the inn. We started to play rollies, but kind of petered off. And then the halfling crew showed up, and they said they would work for a week so that they could get it done, and move on to the next job. I don't remember any finer grain details than that.
Did we get another message?
Yeah, we did at the very, very end. You're right.
We had an opera. What
the fuck is the animal? Not a snake with wings.
It was a paper bird.
Yes, thank you. And that was probably another job offer. I don't remember what precisely it said. Actually, wait, I have notes for this.
It's in handouts as well.
Yes.
All I have in the handouts is the code legal. Or are you talking about in Discord?
In Discord.
Yeah, Discord.
And my link to my notes is in Discord as well. Thank God. Yeah. Recommendation. To Mert from Rainier, I believe. is
Rhaenyra spoke of you guys.
yeah. Mert is with an I, not an E. There we go.
Formal attire is required.
At the opera, yes.
Yes.
Cool. Do 8. Did I miss anything to anyone else's knowledge?
No.
Clint and Ashley have matching necklaces now.
Mm-hmm. I do have the BFF necklace denoted.
But you guys must, at the very least, like each other.
Correct, and it has
For
to be
that to work.
two-way. It does not work one way.
Exactly.
We have to be within 10 feet and like each other, which I believe... I don't know if it's confirmed that they're like actual good friends yet. Clint thinks they're probably fine, but I'm not going to bank on getting that bonus. Not for now. But yeah, so I guess, are we picking up at the next day?
Up to, so I think we ended. Wait, what does the handout say exactly? Tonight? Okay, we're gonna change that to tomorrow night because I think it was nighttime
Yes.
when we last ended. And y'all were about to go to bed.
Does it say tonight in here? So opera and oh, there it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it says tonight, but I think I'm not sure. I don't remember. It might have been end of the day.
It was.
It was
last
late.
session.
Yeah, the dwarfs did not come in until late. We'd have been having dinner and everything.
Yeah. So pen that in as tomorrow night.
Cool.
It's
So
close enough,
next,
right?
next day, and now we have. Now we have. Oh my god. A thing to do. In the evening, at the very least.
Yep. Again, morning routine. Liv has started up coffee.
Nice. I have to join the stream. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, I mean, if no one has any complaints or any roleplay, it seems like energy is low. I'm going to vote that we steer towards the plot.
Yeah.
No objections?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than just forcing a shopping trip, there would be. I don't think there's anything anybody particularly needs to do.
Okay. So, our two real directions, as far as I can tell, would be go to Davril, because he is the only plot thread that I can see, and then kind of pick his ear for stuff to do, or we could time skip to the opera.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have formal attire.
Can we go and get that during the day and then just?
Yeah, you could. It's
Okay.
more so a joke of just like, how many of you actually have formal attire?
I do.
Clint definitely does not.
I'm pretty sure at least 2 of us do.
I think it would just be Mutt and Clint that wouldn't.
Does Feyre have formal attire?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
She has to
Okay.
look fancy sometimes too. She doesn't know what type of ship she's gonna be on.
You know what? I never thought of that. I always thought of her as a standard, like, stereotypical sailor.
She's gotta be on the fancy ship sometimes. They pay better.
Understandable. Have a
Let's
nice day.
see.
Okay. I will say. You know what? Never mind. Forget it. So yeah, Clint and Mutt shopping trip, you need to get them formal clothing. Go to
Formal clothing. Is there a
How-
place in the city?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. It's Waterdeep, it's a big city. And I'm just thinking of like, okay, what like fancy enough, however affordable clothing department store would you guys like to go to, but the fantasy version?
Well, Clint is flat broke. He gave his only 10 gold to help paying for, I think, the halflings.
That's what
So-
actually just kind of sighs a little bit. All right, I'll take you to go get a suit. Come on.
Thank Clint will tip his hat to you. Does Mutt have a willing decision as to whether or not they are dog, or is that
Mutt
just kind
would
of?
very much hate being in a suit for any period of time, but especially an extended period of time.
Mutt
Gotcha.
chooses when to be a dog. Joe, to answer your question.
Yes.
Oh, that was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, I was asking like if you're, do you turn into a dog like
He's-
when
he's
you're
not a
not
werewolf.
expecting
Not
it?
a werewolf.
Not a werewolf.
Okay. Good to know. Let me go here.
What about a vest and shirt?
Yeah. Mutt's young, he can get away with it.
I was gonna say we could put Mutt in the dress.
That'll
true.
go over well.
More roomy. Less
Up
Pretty
until he
sure
starts
any
trying to-
formal attire is going to be uncomfortable, but
Yeah, up until he starts walking on 4 legs again. Fucking ass in
That's
the air.
true.
No dress.
Also very true. Okay, what about the like you see it in movies and stuff, but like the stereotypical like young boy formal attire where it's like knee length and like elbow length and like made to be running around in.
what the Hitler Youth wore?
Oh my god.
Okay, I
No,
was
I'm talking
I was thinking like young like colonial
yeah,
settler
that's what I was
type.
thinking.
Yeah, but I guess also them.
I don't know
Sure.
what they fucking wear. Not like a uniform.
It's like tall, like ankle or not ankle. It's like thigh, or not thigh. God damn it, calf high stocking socks or whatever, and then low shorts. That it's like
That is
from a
such
school uniform.
ridiculous mental image.
You know,
I
when
mean,
you have,
Cody's
like-
It's
not
formal.
wrong insofar as they look very similar.
I don't know what they fucking. I don't want to Google that.
What did those young, violent Hitlerites wear?
Jesus Christ. But I was thinking more of like, hey, you have a movie set in like Victorian times, and one of the main characters is a young boy. That's what he's wearing. You know,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
that vibe. It's roomy. It's not as constrictive, but it's still, formal.
Yeah. I need a good O word for this session.
What?
I'm thinking of what to title the session. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Okay, so we're going out, buying some fancy clothing. Which, how much is that gonna run us? For 2 to 3 sets of duds.
Well, it's only 2.
2. Okay. No backups.
Let me see. I will say. I'm looking at these outfits, and I'm just like, okay. I think the closest thing here. I'm not gonna have you guys blow too much money on this because it's just a little thing. But the closest thing I can imagine that's applicable is the entertainer's outfit
Ooh.
and just reflavor that as it's formal wear. However, you're still able to move around and stuff in it. It's 3 gold.
Nice. That's cheap enough for me.
Cheap enough that you got a good suit.
I know that this probably wouldn't qualify as fancy attire, but hear me out on this one.
You see, that's just an entertainer's outfit.
Okay, cool. So we're on the same page, so I can find that.
You guys go to
Unless-
a high-end... You guys,
Unless
okay,
I am
imagine
physically stopped.
Yes, I imagine Ashley takes you guys to a actual suit store, like one that he goes to and he knows is good, right?
Hmm.
And then you guys on the way there, out of the corner of Clint's eye, he spots it in the window of a thrift store.
Perfect.
Unless someone stops him.
Pretty sure that is
What are
a.
you looking up?
I'm pretty sure that's a fucking cosplay from Star versus Forces of Evil.
Yeah.
I've never watched that show
I've never heard
for
of
more
that.
than a few minutes, but that the other option, let's see, there's got to be some good fancy ass cowboy clothes.
It's like hot cow person. That's all I know.
I wouldn't say cow person in this case because he is a boy. Saying cow person makes me think of like cowkin.
Oh god.
But yes, it'll be a very slick. There's a name for that outfit, like a traditional, old school Western tuxedo vibe.
You're asking the wrong people. I don't think any of us think through the lens of Western.
There is cowboy formal attire out there in the world. I'll never take you to one of those places.
Fine, I guess he'll get a normal suit and tie.
You're gonna wear a suit and you're gonna like it.
Sees it in the corner of the eye, head turns, Ashley yank towards the suit shop.
Just being dragged away from it, thinking about how cool he would look, and all of that just eyesore, smattering shotgun blast of different colors of leather. But he will take that and then wear the coat over it. So he has suit, coat, and the hat. Can't forget the hat. Always got the hat. The hat stays on.
The hat stays on. Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm adding that to my inventory, and none of you can stop me.
Oh boy.
Formal attire?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do they manage, Cody, does Ashley / whoever else is taking it upon themselves, do they manage to get Mutt into an outfit?
I mean, yeah, like there will be no problems like getting in. It's gonna be staying in.
The occasional whimper.
Please do not strip.
He's gonna strip if it lasts longer than 30 minutes.
Oh boy.
How about we leave you outside?
It is.
Feyre
Oh,
will just
God, it's
like
a
let
lot.
you.
Mutt would
Raw.
very much love to just like patrol the perimeter while
Yeah.
y'all are
Pharaoh
inside
will
of the
just
opera.
tell him that he can turn into a wolf.
And go to the opera?
Yeah.
Give me seeing eye dog. That's your costume.
It's a fucking.
I did think about that.
It's a
Very
fucking
agreeable.
fantasy setting where people have familiars and shit.
Yeah.
A
Totally.
wolf is
My only
not the worst thing.
My only requirement, top hat for wolf.
Yeah, he has a little like dog bow tie.
Yeah, a little dog bow tie.
Top
That
hat
was-
bow tie.
The
Very
doorman
fancy.
would be like, all right, formal attire, formal attire, formal attire. Hold on a second.
Agreeable.
Sir, it's a wolf. It's formal attire.
Gestures to someone else who also brought a wolf, and just was like, their wolf dressed up, and their wolf is wearing like a very like dainty wolf style cut, I guess.
Like a jacket.
Not, yeah, like a suit coat.
Mhm.
We just put like a bow tie around him.
And a monocle.
It's like Favor would have just like looked at as soon as Mutt was like, I don't think. She's like, okay, you have two options. Either, well, really, one option with an extra step, very deep bath, and then either wolf or you're in the clothes and you stay in the clothes.
Wolf.
In that case, Ashley will buy him a wolf-sized top hat and monocle and a bow tie.
Fucking Ferminator him.
Groom him. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
There is
now,
enough tickets for everyone.
Yeah. We're
Everyone-
easy
Yeah.
side quest.
Got your clothing in order. You'll have your tickets. You just going straight to the opera?
Yeah. I mean, unless anyone else wants to do a side mission.
Nope.
Actually, Leto would have taken his ticket and left a note saying he'll meet everyone at the opera.
Also, Leto's got some shit, huh?
Also,
Okay.
Iris, your mic is barely picking you up. Unless I accidentally lowered
What?
you. I think
Hang
I
on, let
lowered
me-
you actually. Hold on, never mind. Is everyone else hearing her?
I hear it's fading a little, but I can make out what she
Yeah.
says.
It's just if anyone else is talking, we can't hear you.
Okay, let me see if I can change my settings.
I think it's good. For some reason, Discord put you at 50%, when I usually have you at like 180.
Well, and I also
Huh?
think it's like, I don't know if you move around or like lean on things or something. I do think your mic sometimes gets shaken away from your mouth a bit.
Okay. Let me
Mhm.
turn off crisp and put on standard, see if that'll help any.
Turn off that extra crispy.
It's just any better.
Not really. It's
Do
about
I
the same.
have- Yeah, unfortunately, still kind of the same.
Yeah.
Where is?
Sorry.
It's fine for the time being, at least. It seems
Yeah.
stable.
Mhm. Okay, so Leto wrote a note saying he'll meet y'all later because he's not gonna get in the car with a bunch of people. He's gonna arrive on his own, elegantly.
Got appearances to keep up.
Mhm.
Doesn't want to be seen with the whole rest of the group. We get it.
Okay. All right. You all arrive. I assume in Ashley's carriage,
Of course.
Yes,
the thief mobile, the rogue mobile.
we're arriving in style.
All right, stepping out one by one. It's not a red carpet event, however, there is a valet
Ooh.
who will like gesture to like take the reins on the carriage.
Ashley will get it to him, hop off, cuff his suit.
Mm-hmm.
I can't
All
remember
right.
the last time I've been to a formal gathering.
All right, and this is of like, okay, do any of you want to describe what your characters are wearing to the opera?
We already did this with the ball question a while ago, I think.
I
Let me scroll back the fuck
I-
up.
don't remember, but I'm looking for a good example of Clint's outfit. The interim description. I'm going first, by the way. I am taking charge of this. I am driving
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Clint is wearing a very like closely fitted black trousers, black vest. Ooh, this is a perfect example of the kind of vibe. So he's got this black vest, black trousers with a folded high collar or high neck with the folded collar shirt, and what's absent from this image is the little string tie that would be around the neck. And he is wearing over top of that his he has taken the brown coat that he always wears, thrown that over himself, and his hat to cap it off. Pun intended.
All right, Ashley, or Feyre, whoever.
Mutt?
Ashley stripped out.
Okay.
He
What's
steps out of the carriage with a very classic, fashionable suit, black bow tie, gold cufflinks, maybe like a gold earring on one of his fox ears,
Jesus
and
Christ.
black gloves as well. My man's dripped.
Absolutely. He's not just dripped; he's drenched.
I was gonna say soaking. I like it. Drenched is better.
Hey, brain cell. Goddamn. Okay. What's Feyre wearing?
Vaguely sailor-esque, military-esque outfit, without very clearly meant to evoke it, but not meant like to mimic it. But white on top, floofed front, black pants and black high boots, gold trim, and would have replaced her normal eye patch that she has kind of covering her bad eye with one that is lace, black lace, and then black gloves over her hands.
Nice.
Mutt?
Collar with a bow tie that already has bite marks.
But, like, what color bow tie? I imagine Mutt would want to pick
What color anyone picked, Mutt does not give a damn. Mutt normally wears black. It's just
Feyre
me, like,
would have immediately known it would have been a bad thing. As soon as he's like, I'm just going to go as a fucking wolf. It's just black. Black because it'll hide the bite
Yep.
marks better.
Yep. And we also give him a top hat and a monocle.
will not wear the hat or the monocle.
There was a brief moment where Clint suggested, like, oh, I really think a white bow tie would look really good, and everyone's, no, not white.
You know how old school helmets had that strap that you put under their chin so they wouldn't...
But we just turn back into a human and then turn back into a wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Make-
you don't even have to like turn back into a human. You have the human brain, so you know how to get that off without any issues.
True.
Yeah.
Little shit.
It gets left. It was like a struggle on the ride over. Ashley just putting it back on Mutt, just taking it off. And then they park. Ashley struts out, all absolutely dripped up. And then Mutt sees his chance, takes off the hat, steps out.
Oh shit.
Steps out of the
I
carriage.
paid good money for that top hat.
Hair have actually relatively sort of combed, thanks to Feyre with the Deferminator. Which, I can only imagine the mess you guys have left Lift to clean up. A whole
No.
other much's worth of hair.
Mutt has to behave with that because Feyre was cutting a deal with him. You do this, which is
Mutt
unpleasant,
will
you
behave.
won't have to wear the fucking suit.
Would you do it for a Scooby snack?
Oh my god! We have our own Scooby! Bro.
Oh my god! Okay.
You can now talk in wolf form, but only if you're doing the Scooby impression.
Scooby voice.
Scooby voice. I'll allow
We
it,
can
I'll
understand you. We can understand
No
you.
one else
Everyone else
can.
is horrified.
Yeah. No, everyone else just hears like husky bellows. You all somehow hear words. Jesus Christ. Okay, so you all exit the carriage in your dripped up or just barely formal attire. Oh. And you all walk up, you give your tickets, and there is a waiting room. Essentially, it's a... Have you guys ever been to an opera house before?
Yes.
I've been to a theater, not an opera house.
I've
Yeah,
seen them in anime.
But essentially there is a nice, at least for some of them at least, have like a bar or of sorts, or like snacks, a little mini restaurant section, and just a very like wide open area for mingling and a little bit of seating, very much just a nice place to wait until it's time to take your seats. And the opera starts in like 10-15 minutes. So you have some time, and you guys all gather in there. And say that Iris, your character has just arrived in style and walks into the lobby area, the waiting area. Would you like to describe?
Yes. So, in walks a woman with very long, dark black hair, and she's wearing a dark blue, very indigo formal dress with some silver like lining and kind of like not lace, but what's the word? Like thin chains kind of thing at the belt at the waist. Her gloves are super long. The dress is does not have it's like backless and shoulderless, and her gloves reach up past her elbow. They're black, or not black. They're also that dark indigo blue. She has kind of grayish eyes and very pale skin. She's short. She's like 5'3", I think. And she has some kind of veil-esque thing tied into her hair, because her hair is tied up a bit.
Oh, do you have an image for said person?
I do. This is a said person you may or may not recognize. Who knows? But here.
I see. And she's just hanging out in the main foyer area?
You guys are all hanging out in the main foyer waiting area. She has just walked in.
By herself?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I'm asking with a professional level of curiosity from the perspective
Sure
of Clint.
you are.
She walks in. Are there more people than just the party? Or is it just the
Yeah.
party?
It's not just the party. There's probably about like 30 people total spread out across a pretty spacious room. Like it's not crowded at all, but it's very easy to have like conversations away from other people. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like obviously all these people are one like group essentially. However, they're split off in little pods. And I imagine the party is one of those pods.
Starting off strong, Joe.
I was just having it to myself because I assume we clock this person as they walk in with no issue.
I do not. I do not clock this person.
Fair.
Imagine Ashley is facing away from the door.
Clint.
What is that?
Clint is very, very obviously staring at this person walking through the door. Like it is very. It's like locked on target. Is the head turning with her, and he's just like staring.
Feyre would have gotten herself a drink, turned back around, seeing Clint being super obvious, just kind of like looked at the woman, looked back to Clint, and fucking pinch ear, twist a little
Ow!
bit.
What? What'd I do?
Could you be any more obvious?
Obvious about what?
You're sitting there with your jaw hanging all open and just staring at her. Stop it.
Clint like looks back over at her as you mentioned, staring at her, and he just goes, "I would think of it as a compliment."
It is creepy.
Fair enough. You know, it's not creepy being courteous. So if you don't mind, I'll go myself. He got his little bow tie on his shirt. If I could have my ear back, please.
She just brow furrowed, one golden eye, just like the fuck. Smack upside the back of the head, turns back to her drink.
The second you let go of his ear, he stands up straight and starts like in a very this is not how he walks kind of or this is not how he walks normally walk. He will not prance, what's the word, like stride in like a this way to look at how rich and important I am kind of walk all the way up to this person.
Feyre's really gonna
Like
lean
beeline.
down towards Mutt. Just let's watch this crash and burn real fast.
Oh,
Popcorn materializes. Popcorn materializes next to Feyre and Mutt.
Ruh-roh.
So once he gets close enough, he will like hold like kind of cup his hand and clear his throat a little bit, just like ahem. Well, hello, nurse, and bow a little bit. He goes, ma'am, and he'll bow again at the waist. And he holds the edges of his jacket a little bit higher, like you would a curtsy.
She, before you stepped up to her, she looked like she was looking around as if trying to find someone. But when you step up, she looks a little surprised and gives a very courteous smile and curtsies to him in response.
He straightens himself up and adjusts the collar of his shirt. That it wasn't misaligned, but he takes an extra second to misalign it and then realign it. And he will hold out a hand and be like, "My name is Clint Redletcher, and it's a pleasure to meet you. May I ask for your name?"
She gives her his hand and nods, but she nods and pulls out a small notebook and flips the page to like the first or second page, and it says, "My name is Rosette. I'm sorry that I," and then flips to the next page and says, "I am mute. Sorry for being rude."
She just has a book of responses.
Yep.
He blinks for a second and then reads. You can see him, like, as he's reading, he's like mouthing the words a little bit, so you can follow along. And he just reads and then looks up and just goes, "Oh my, well, I'm sorry. Hold on." And he starts like looking through his pockets, and let me see if I have something. How big is a tinderbox? It's kind of small, right?
Imagine it handheld.
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger. A little bit somewhere between a wallet and a matchbook.
Matchbox.
Okay. He'll take out his tinderbox, which is wooden, and it's a light colored wood. It can fit inside of a coat pocket. So he'll pull that out and then kind of look at it, kind of tilt his head back and forth, and then he will reach, not reach out, sorry, but he'll hold out his hand and look at the pen and nod to it, asking for permission to borrow it.
Looks a little curiously, but hands it to him.
Takes the pen, and then he writes down on his tinderbox, "My mistake. It's a pleasure to meet you, Rosette." And he misspells Rosette and then spells it a different way, and then misspells it, and then just writes down Rose.
She
Takes up
puts
about
her,
half the tinderbox with that.
She puts her hand to her mouth as if she was chuckling, and gives him a amused smile.
He will flip the tinderbox over, and on the back side of it, he'll write, "Are you here with anyone?"
She will shake her head and pause for a second and sign in Thieves' Cant to see if he recognizes it.
And he, recognizing Thieves' Cant, he'll sign in Thieves' Cant. He does recognize it. Do you just ask him, do you speak Thieves' Cant?
Yeah, basically.
The first thing, having understood it, the first thing he says is, "You are gorgeous." He just met this seemingly well-to-do, rich, dark and mysterious woman, and she's got some secret criminal that led to her knowing this language.
She replies with, "That's very kind of you. Thank you. You're quite handsome yourself."
Aww. He puts a hand to the side of his face and does the little pshaw gesture. But he'll sign again. "Are you here with someone? Or meeting someone?"
I am looking for someone. Do you happen to know someone by the name of Ashley?
Immediate, just surprise, somewhere between somewhere between disappointment and also oh, okay, well, good on him then. And he will turn and bow, do an at the waist bow and gesture towards where Ashley is standing.
She peeks her head around him, and a bright smile crosses her lips, and she signs, "Thank you very, very much." And she rushes over to Ashley, taps him on the shoulder, waiting for him to turn around.
The first, as you rush away from Clint, and then behind your back, Clint he pantomimes an arrow hitting him in the heart and then himself dying.
Audible facepalm.
I mean, it could be my sister, so...
Do you think Clint's that smart?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? What? He actually just kind of turns around. What's that?
And Ashley is surprised with a kiss.
So
Should
after,
save that arrow to the heart till now.
No, Clint immediately assumed the worst.
Yeah, so Ashley turns, he gives a tap on the shoulder. He turns his face hey, what's up?
Feyre, Mutt, how's that popcorn?
Feyre sees that and just another face palm, and now she's looking for an exit. It's like, I'm not getting involved in that.
So after a moment of surprise, Ashley just kind of like pulls you away for a second to look at you. Oh, hi, Rose. It's been a while.
She nods and starts signing very quickly in excitement.
Well, slow the motions, girl. Slow the motions. I can't read that fast.
In response, she signs very, very directly. I have missed you so much.
Yeah, I've missed you too, Rosie.
Why didn't you tell me you were in town?
Well, I just got back.
Cringe.
This is the first event I've been to.
Oh, well, according to Leto, you've been around for a while. He's the one who invited me here.
Leto, you bastard! I will hunt you down. I mean, less than a week. Definitely less than a week.
Well, I understand if you've been busy, but it's good to see you now.
Yeah. So Leto sent you here? Is there a reason for that, or is this just a surprise on my end?
Well, it's a little confusing, but Leto gave some ownership of some tavern to me. He said something along the lines of a present for the newlyweds.
Ashley's fox ear twitches. Leto, I don't know why you've done this to me, but I will find you. Yeah. Looks to everybody. Hey, everybody. Meet our new tavern co-owner. And he turns her around to face everybody.
She gives a deep curtsy to the group.
Clint will walk over and he will bow in a less overly enthusiastic manner, just kind of like a normal hand in front of the chest bow.
Feyre
He'll
hears
also-
new co-owner and just like eye twitch, pinch, bridge of nose. How many fucking co-owners am I gonna have to go through with all this bullshit?
When Feyre pinches her nose, Mutt does the dog thing where they put their head down and put both of their paws on their face.
Aww.
Okay, so Rose, the tiefling is Farah. You've already met Clint.
Howdy.
The dog is named Mutt, and he's only a dog part-time.
Part-time dog, full-time friend. Gives Mutt a sad scratch.
Mutt's not happy being here, because formal.
Did we catch all of the thieves canting about all that backstory stuff?
It was in Thieves' Cant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
gonna say Clint was not necessarily looking for the whole situation. He would walk over partway through, so he probably missed the front half of it, but got there right around newlyweds and new owner.
Yeah. Farah, Clint, Mutt. This is Rosette Levea. She's She cough, or he coughs. My fiance cough. Don't know what it is with these sudden colds today. Been sick all day.
Oh well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, well, I might have. He starts digging around in his coat for a hanky. It is old, visibly old, but he hands it to you anyway.
On it.
The prestidigitation can only do so much. Those stains, they are part of the hanky now. But
Oh, thank you.
no problem. Pats you on the back.
And apparently Leto gave her his share of the tavern. So we'll be seeing a lot more of her.
Oh my, so she's... Well, he straightens his tie a little bit again. It was not... That time it was actually like... Or after having done that, it's now less straight. But he looks and just goes, I suppose that makes you one of my new bosses. And why I'm now down one boss. Turnover rate at this place is crazy.
You're fucking telling me.
She'll sign. Oh, so you're not one of the owners as well?
Puts his hands on his hips and just goes, nope. He doesn't sign it, he just says it. Oh, I showed up yesterday and drank a lot of the leftover wine they had.
As Clint says that, Ashley leans over to her ear. It is actually a bunch of vinegar.
Slow nod.
As if understanding. Sage.
Rosette will turn to Feyre and sign similar like, can you read this?
And Feyre watch it, and there's just a sigh and a little nod. Seems like we'll keep finding each other in all this city and everything. It's just a little bit concerning. But yes, I do know.
Big smile. Pleasure to meet you.
Feyre will kind of do the casual motion of half salute, half tip in an invisible hat type motion. And just leaning against the counter, cup in hand. Rum has been acquired. She's not necessarily impressed by Fancy Lady. She is just a little bit more distracted by another new owner.
To be fair, Farah isn't really impressed by anything.
She's seen some shit, okay?
Except the bottle of the wine glass.
Again, she is not a lush.
That's technically more accurate, because she wouldn't have seen the bottom of a wine glass for the sheer fact that she's never drank all of the wine.
Yeah.
Or she
I
doesn't
say
use
when
it less.
Anti-lush.
when she is in a tavern, she does have a drink like everybody else. She's having a drink now because, third new owner?
Clint is more of a lush than her, whereas she's the gambling fiend.
Yes, she can't be drunk and gamble properly. Or cheat properly at gambling.
That's how you end up broke
Yup.
or dead.
Yup.
We have a lot to catch up on, Rose. I'll show you to your place after this.
Thank you. She'll turn to Mutt and lean down a little bit and put her hand out to shake.
How does she smell?
Wow, you pervert.
What does she smell like?
Mm-hmm.
Rain.
Ooh, what's the word? What's the fancy word for rain? Petrichor,
Petrichor.
I think.
Or- yeah.
Yeah. It's a good word. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's just the best thing I can come up with off the top of my head.
He'll like sniff your hand, give it like a mediocre lick.
Pretty sure that means he likes you because he ain't biting you, so take that as a win.
She'll tentatively pet his head if he will allow it.
He won't stop it, but it's like one of those like thinking, do I bite? Do I sit here?
She won't push her luck.
Did Lyle tell you anything about why we're here, or just that you all of a sudden have new ownership in a little bit of a tavern and an inn, and that your fiance was here?
He said that there was going to be some kind of meeting, and that Ashley would be here, and that I was more than welcome to take his place.
And forgive me for asking, but what exactly beyond just knowing how to sign are you capable of?
You haven't seen one of these? Pulls out his gun.
Put that away, boy.
What's the big deal?
You are inside a fine establishment. You need to put it away.
He looks around at the building like he just realizes he's here, and he just goes, "Well, that's a good point." Put it away and kind of slide it to the back side of his coat.
She'll sign. Well, my family runs a shipping company, so I'm pretty good with money, if that's what you mean.
And there's just like eyebrow raise, like a little concerned, and eye drifting towards Ashley.
Fenrir here is a sailor, so anything to do with that's gonna have her on edge.
Not particularly why I'm concerned.
As far as I know, the Olivia shipping company, surprisingly, very very little underhanded, if I remember correctly.
So she is not inclined to our side of things, tending. At least tending to be.
Not that I'm aware of.
And Fair just takes a slow breath in, holds it for a second, and lets it out with a little nod. Okay. And turns and starts walking away.
We'll follow.
She'll sign to Feyre before she walks away. It's more not necessarily local shipping, but more interplanetary.
Sure, I can do that.
Do we know what that means? I don't know if anyone, if a character in Waterdeep has a typical understanding of interplanetary.
Amy?
Up to your character is your discretion. I imagine that space travel is newer.
Are you setting us to like
Makes sense.
start of spell jamming?
That would be
honestly
wild.
have no idea where this is because Mert is here, but I can't tell what fucking time of place this is. I can't tell if this is younger than Spelljammer or if this is like old and retired man Mert.
This could be like Pioneer Spelljammer.
I think it's chronological from how Wizards typically releases their books for Forgotten Realms. It's like this one, because it's literally been released before Spelljammer, this
Okay.
chronologically takes
So,
place
yeah.
before it.
Yeah, so I did imagine this as this is like pioneering spelljamming times.
Hell yeah.
So like space travel is new, but it's not like maybe like 5% of people have heard of it. Am I saying 5% because of D20s? Yes, I am.
Hell yeah.
But have heard of it. So, but it's newer, but it's not like it's new. It's up to your discretion on if your character has heard of it before.
Ashley would be
Cool.
aware just because he knows what I said.
I guess because I've leaned so hard into Feyre being a sailor, she would have heard of it, probably doesn't understand it, really. It's like fucking ships in the sky would be something that I imagine would travel through sailors pretty fast.
And like, yo, have you heard they got ships in the sky now? Be like, stop drinking.
Bro, what?
Yeah,
Ships are in the
pretty
water.
You drank too much.
Time to pour out that particular barrel of rum. That's gone bad. Not sure how it went bad, but it has.
Or it's gotten very good.
So have Clint and Mutt heard of space travel?
Hell no.
Clint has heard of space insofar as it's really high up. That's about as far as it goes for him. So he just like hears interplanetary and just goes, into what?
Feyre just kind of like pauses and like hears Clint say that and gestures vaguely towards the sky. Some fucking people starting to put magic in ships and ships flying around, I think. I don't know.
Essentially.
That's really
Looks
not what
up
I'm
at the ceiling.
asking, though.
Well, what are you asking?
You do know your fiance is a criminal and everything. Are you a criminal too?
She just gives a knowing smile.
And look, Feyre's got decent charisma, so she would probably recognize that and be like, ah, okay, so you are.
You are? He turns his head looking at you. When was this?
You've been gone for a while. We can talk more about it another time.
Okay.
Oh,
So you're no longer the scared little princess I used to protect with my bow? Interesting.
Feyre just arches a brow at Ashley and then looks back to Rose. Like, so, is this a little bit more of the knife edge side, or a little bit of the? She just like wiggles her fingers, like vague motion for magic.
She'll snap her fingers and make a she won't snap her fingers. She'll look to Feyre and then say to her telepathically, more on the magical side.
Oh yeah, first time hearing.
Oh.
Feyre gets
shit.
the and there is slightly a pause, slightly sour for a moment, and then the little bit of a nod.
Smile.
What's your subclass?
I don't want to say because it'll be cooler when it
Don't
happens.
say it. Don't say it.
I wanna know.
Can
It's,
confirm she is a rogue.
I do understand the fun of the edgy, cool reveal.
And I'm always the one that's gonna fucking ask.
If it helps, I dipped into a spellcasting class.
Well, I figured that much. Good luck, Clint and Mutt. You're the only two without the spellcasting class.
Ruh-roh.
That's fine.
Yeah, you guys are the only pure rogues at the moment. Yeah, because you got a warlock, you have a bard, and now we have caster as well.
Vague
So it's like-
caster.
A vague caster of some sort. All right. And with that, one of the staff in a full tailor tuxedo and a top hat and a monocle with a bushy but well-combed mustache. He's the man who was inspecting formal attire at the front doors. Comes in from like the staircase, and he announces to everyone that it is time for the opera. Take your seats. And everyone is ushered into the opera house. Unless you guys have some last minute things
Okay.
you want to do. Unless you want to skip the opera.
Oh, I need to prepare my bullets. I'm probably gonna keep the ones I've prepared already.
Okay.
Wait. Never mind.
That's on you to keep track of. I'm not keeping track of that shit.
No, yeah, I'm just glad you
Yeah.
reminded me before we got too far into things.
Yeah, like
Cody-
before we continue.
Mutt is a big wolf, right?
I mean, yeah, like your average wolf, like not dog
You're-
size, like wolf size.
I'm just imagining between the two of them, there's that awkward trying to share space with very large dog. Half in your space, half in their space.
I mean, Mutt's got his own seat, but he is a wolf.
He is a big wolf.
You guys see behind you a family of elderly halflings. Behind Mutt. Like an elderly halfling couple sit down behind you, behind Mutt.
I mean, is the smell recognized?
Yes.
Okay, then immediately jumps into their laps.
Aw.
You guys see Mutt get wrangled into seat and then jump into people behind him's laps.
Fucking, no. You don't go jumping on people.
You see the elderly halfling couple or older halfling couple are very, very happy. They seem very ecstatic. They're giving Mutt lots of pets and hugs.
Pharaoh is at first trying to drag Mutt back by fucking bow collar. Seeing that they didn't care, she is like, okay, more space for me, and she spreads out across two seats.
You guys over here, the older woman dressed out in a very pale blue, tasteful classic dress. Just here like, oh, look, Mutt, you're back. Look at you. You got so big and you're so fluffy. Look at you. Giving him like a rub behind his ears, pulls out a dog treat / biscuit
Gooey snack.
from her purse.
A mutt snack.
A Mutt snack.
Mutto. That Clint is super fascinated by this because he's not seen anyone recognize Mutt, let alone as a dog, and he just walks up and then crouches next to Mutt and will be like, "Do these people know you? I mean, obviously they know you, but do they know you know you?"
I imagine Mutt would be pretty. I mean, not oblivious, or not Not like intending to ignore, but just like so preoccupied that's not really paying attention to Clint.
How could you?
The woman is doing most of the talking, though the man is also petting Mutt, giving him good pats on the head, smiling, and you just hear it's like, look, our boy is here. How did you get here? Look at you, just though like you've grown so much.
Ashley leans down a little bit. Excuse me, do you happen to know this wolf in particular?
She looks up at you. She's like, "This? Of course we know him. He's our son."
Was
Why?
not expecting that.
Like, Clint just does some vague gesture to like point to the stomach area.
Family means more than just biological, in my opinion.
No, it's true. I think he was just.
No, you got me there.
Yeah.
I've met some family that I didn't realize were family until I knew they were family. Said with an instance of it, like a full ounce of sage wisdom.
A whole ounce of it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Feyre's just watching over her shoulder. There's a whole interaction. And it's like, one hand lifts, and she starts counting off her finger. Long lost fiance, a couple of long lost parents. We just having a whole blown fucking family reunion with everybody. Your brother ain't going to be in town, is he?
Do you have any family here in Waterdeep, Sarah?
Better not.
A man taps Sarah. Sister, is that you? I've been looking for you for decades now. Come home. Mother misses you.
Oh, if Feyre's family shows up, we in trouble.
Oh, roll initiative.
Don't test me.
Daddy Levistus finally got out of that ice prison.
Oh, that's true. You are.
You guys hear the woman is like talking to Mutt / also at the group, sort of, but focused on Mutt. It's like, I haven't seen you in weeks. Where have you been? We sent you to go get nice, and we haven't seen you. Are you okay? Are you eating enough? You're not hungry, are you? I have some more treats. I have some more snacks.
Well,
We've been taking good care of him.
I was gonna say, like, when she asked the question, like, where have you been, Mutt would look at the group, but then as soon as she says snacks, like, his face is, like, right back.
Starting to dive for the purse.
Yeah. Opens up her. She smuggled in treats. It's like, you guys taking good care of him? Are you? He's a really good boy. You know, he's so sweet.
It's like Clint just still kind of dumbfounded that these people just casually know that, because he was thinking about it and is now kind of realizing that he's also weirdly okay with it. Just kind of shrugs it off and just goes, well, I think we've given quite good caring for him. Of course, I've only been here a couple of hours, but in those hours, he's been very safe.
Why, just a couple of days ago, we took him to play with a whole bunch of other dogs, and he became the leader of the pack.
She like slaps or like taps the man's arm. She's like, Zen, look, he's a leader. I told you he had it in it. Look at him.
So adorable.
He's just staring at a little black bow tie.
Our boy is a leader. Yes, he is.
It's so weird and precious.
Well, the opera's beginning. Would you like to sit with us? I'm sure Matt would appreciate his family with him.
Well, as luck would have it, looks like we're right behind you. I'd love to catch up after.
Of course. I'll take us to dinner.
That sounds great. You can tell us all about what Mutt's been up to and who you all are and how you all get to know each other and what you all do. And then like the man just like taps like hand on her shoulder, just like Roz, the show's starting. They should probably get in their seats, but we can talk later. I'd love to talk later, but it is time.
Yes, I have some catching up of my own to do, and he looks to Rose.
Rose smiles and looks at Ashley happily, but then kind of notices his ears and points.
We got a lot of catching up to do. And his ears twitch in response.
Those are new.
What are those?
Clint is just gonna slide over to Feyre and be like, "Well, that looks like a tense situation."
Feyre's like kind of head turns the other way to watch over her other shoulder, Ashley and Rose, and looks towards Clint, and there's a little smirk. A little bit more than just hints, judging by where he's going, but at least it'll be a good show for the night.
Is Feyre holding a drink?
No, she would have finished what she had, because I generally don't get to bring your drinks into the actual opera unless you're in a box.
Yeah.
Damn it. Clint nods and has a hand on his chin and just sagely agrees, definitely will be entertaining to say the least. I sincerely hope, though, that if anything goes wrong, she at least breaks up with him. All the best, though. Pray that nothing goes wrong, but if it does go wrong, that it goes wrong in favor of something better.
Feyre, he's sitting not genteelly, legs spread, arm propped on the seat that was supposed to be Mutt's, but Mutt is not occupying it, head against hand, just stares at Clint in very much the expression that all of us can imagine, because either we have been stared in that way or you have done it to a friend, the dumbass friend that's saying something he probably shouldn't, and you're just like, sure, buddy.
Gives her a smile and nods, just oh cool, so we're on the same page. Totally oblivious to it.
Feyre was not meant to be the center of sanity, and yet she has somehow ended up the center of sanity in this group.
I actually took down as a note that Feyre has unfortunately become the party babysitter for the time being.
Now you know what Lana feels like.
She is not prepared for this, but here she is.
It's not good, because she's also the type to watch people crash and burn.
Oh boy, and with that, the lights start to dim, and everyone kind of settles in their seats. All the silhouettes that you see blocking you from the stage just slowly settle and get smaller until everyone's in their seats, and you get a good, clear view of the stage. Rainier got you guys some pretty good tickets. You guys did not get a box, though.
Damn.
Halfway up the floor.
Yeah, you guys got some pretty decent seats. And the show starts. And it is called The Fall of Tiamat.
I thought you were going to say The Fall of Man for some reason. I was like, oh no.
And it is an opera entirely sung in Giant.
Oh god.
And there is, as the show starts and the first notes ring out, you guys hear a swirling, you don't hear, but you see a swirling magic overtake the seats. Very, very light yellow, essentially like mist, sort of, little magic particles that essentially stop in between behind every single headrest. And essentially, for every single seat, start subtitles in common. Magic subtitles behind, essentially behind every headrest. So there's right in front of you, right below the stage, essentially. Subtitles in magic for every person to read in common, detailing the evil queen's defeat at the Well of Dragons.
We
And
stand the
opera is
accommodations.
really- yeah, exactly. And opera is pretty good. Opera is very, very, very
Good.
well done. Yeah, thank you. I almost said well done, and I'm like, wait, I got
Medium
confused.
rare.
Yeah, no, I got my fast
remembered
food
that.
confused of like well done French fries, and I'm like, wait, hold on.
I suddenly remembered that this module is often connected with Horde of the Dragon Queen.
I did not know we're not doing that.
Oh.
Get that shit out of here. But yes, that singers in the I can't, it's really good, guys.
Yeah. Hell
I
yeah.
was trying. I don't have the words apparently, but I was going to steal from when I actually went to an opera to describe it. But apparently, I can't English at the moment. So
Oh.
it's really good. The costumes are pretty. The singers are really sound really pretty. The stage is really pretty. Everything's really nice, and then intermission comes, and the
Wow,
lights
I
come.
love the part when the giant just suplexed him out like that. That was crazy. And then I heard "So long, gay Bowser," and he just like threw her.
So long, gay Bowser.
But yes, it's intermission. The lights start coming up slowly. You guys have about 30 minutes to walk around, stretch your legs, get some food or drink, use the bathroom, sit in your seat for the entire intermission if you want to, or, maybe have a little chit-chat if you would like. Because you guys 100% totally could just see the opera and go home.
I was gonna say Ashley's gonna look around for the client.
Yeah, Feyre's heading up towards the boxes. Because she's like, there is enough weird bullshit that if they get distracted, I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting pulled into any of the family reunions, thank you. So she'll head for whatever stairs she thinks is gonna take her up to the boxes.
I'll come with you.
Clint will just wordlessly follow them, thinking that it's okay for him to go with them.
Well, there was a meeting, so Rose will join.
Mutt has to get off of his parents' laps.
I mean, he can stay if he wants to.
No, as soon as Farrah started walking, Mutt would have gone.
Alright. You guys all go up and you find the area with all of the tokens. Not the tokens. What the fuck am I doing? I can't English.
English do be hard.
English is very hard. The fuck, man? You find the hallway with all of the private boxes. And, first there's private box A, then there's A1, A2, blah, blah. And eventually you find private box C.
Knock on door.
You knock on the door and you hear a very gruff voice, just like, come in!
I'll just push the door open. Won't step through until she can get eyes on what's on the inside, but we'll push it open.
Alright. You push it open, and inside you see a very, very tall, not like really tall, but you guys have heard Merch's description before. He looks the same because of some weird bullshit he has with aging.
Wow,
He looks
Merc.
exactly the
Looks like
same.
her.
Here, Mert.
Ah, Mert. No problem, Ernie.
Oh my god.
You see a heavy-set man sitting down at the center seat of the box and facing towards the stage, and he's got like a little plate, or not a plate, but like a silver platter, essentially, with a wine bottle and a glass, and another tray next to him with a couple of hors d'oeuvres, and he's snacking.
They will walk around and like just lean a hip against the railing and kind of a little to the side, but vaguely in front of him, arms crossed, and just nod her head.
Is it just Favor that comes in?
I come in.
Clint. Yeah, I was gonna say Clint will follow behind, and he's looking up and around and just observing the entire area. In a modern like setting, he would be looking for. It would look almost like he's looking for cameras, but in this setting, he just looks like, I imagine, probably lost.
Looking for gazers.
Looking for he's looking for tiny little arrow portholes where someone could, or Donnie. No, he's got a gun. Tiny little gun portholes where someone could take a pot shot or some shit. I don't know. He's not actually doing that. He's just looking around.
Yeah, just looking around. Then he gestures for you all to come in as he takes a sip from his glass and puts it all down. It's like, alright, is that all of you?
We expecting a whole army
I
or
think
something?
it is.
Well, Rainier talked about a whole group that saved you all. That saved him and a couple of others. So I just want to make sure we have everyone accounted for.
Yes, this is everybody. I was part of that group for sure.
Like, well, some of you are here. That's all that really matters. Oh, let me introduce myself. My name is Mert. Sorry, I just had a glass. Anyway, it's a pleasure to meet you. Rainier knew I was coming to this show, and, well, when I mentioned that maybe I might want to recruit you all, based on what he said, he went ahead and got you tickets. So it's a pleasure to meet you. Are you guys open for work? Do you want to know what we do? Are you open to this at all? Or
Clint nods, puts his hands on his hips, and just goes, "Absolutely. Always looking for extra work. We're also going to work ourselves, or at least I'm going to work for them a little bit once the building is done."
What he's saying is, please tell us what you have in mind.
well,
Bet.
here's the thing. It's not exactly a cut and dry job. Obviously, you will be rewarded. However, it's more a... he, looks around. And he, gestures for whoever was closest to the door to, close it.
Chunk.
Actually, okay, I was about to say, Ashley will just maintain it shut.
Yeah.
Mutt kicks it close with his back leg.
Mm-hmm. And he looks over at the essentially little mini balcony over his box, and he looks and he sees that everyone around them has already gone, and they're left, and you guys are pretty much alone now. Anyone that you can see is out of earshot. And you see that he straightens up after checking this, and he leans in a bit. The work that we do here is more behind the scenes. It's more, how do I describe this? It's altruistic, essentially. It's not a job. It's joining a cause, is what I'd like to say.
Nods sagely. Sounds good so far. Big fan of doing good work, and also getting paid for it. Double win in my book.
Yeah, I will say that sometimes we're not focused entirely on money, so maybe you might not be paid as much. But the work that we do is very important, and it's to keep power out of the hands of evil people in power. Or those who hold influence over those who may hurt the people in this city. And from what Rainier told me about you all, about how you saved him, even though that it was for a job, I figured I might ask to see exactly what your motivations were. And if it was out of the good for other people, or if it really was just for the pay.
Personally, it's a mix of both for me.
I'd prefer to not harm others, unless it comes down to it, so...
Rose will write out, I wasn't part of this initially, but what's the point of hurting people when you can gain stuff without doing so?
Nod? Mutt? Feyre? Yes, Mutt is a dog. You got like a second glance from Mert, but Mert assumed that this was someone's familiar. This was Feyre's familiar.
Never mind. Actually, I was gonna ask what about you, but I feel like I'm going crazy.
It's Feyre's familiar.
Feyre's very much got the poker face on. And it just shrugs a little bit. So you're trying to just judge our morals before you tell us anything about what you're trying to do?
Can you repeat that? My headphones cut out.
You're trying to judge our morals before you tell us anything about what you're trying to do.
He nods.
She's probably not going to ask.
What'd you say, Piper?
Nothing. Just a snark. Just a snark.
Oh, okay. But Enon just like, well, the work that we do is for the good of the city, or at least whatever we can do to sway the city into good. And, well, if you want to work with us, if you're willing to work with us, we need to know where you stand, where your morals lie. If when it comes down to it, if you'd rather get paid or do something bigger than yourself, which I understand everyone has their differences. This is just a figuring out if maybe we can do some good together.
I think that's wholly dependent on what you think is good work.
I'm not trying to be rude, but as somebody who's been in the Walking Dead politics, there are no morally good people trying to control things. Everybody wants to twist things for themselves, so...
And what one
Moral
person's
high
good,
ground does not exist.
and what one person thinks is good work can end up being torture for somebody else. So it was really more of a dependent on what you're trying to do. With all due respect.
Well, one of the things that we're doing right now, or one of the things that we're focusing on right now, is there's recently been an escalation of violence in the streets, and we're trying to figure out which of the gangs are the ones responsible and see if we can maybe get some of our members investigate, gather information. That way we can work on lessening their reach and power and not having as much violent outbreaks in the street and getting innocent people in the crossfire.
Seems like a reasonable goal, to be sure.
We have a couple of suspects, but that's all I can really say right now.
Pause above table. One day I promise I will remember it. But because they sound too much alike, I keep forgetting.
Mhm.
Davril.
Devil.
Davril.
Davil.
Devil.
What was the one he said he was originally a part of? The Zins or the Xanathar? Zins.
So yeah, he was part of the Zents until Zent Civil War. Now he is part of Black Network,
Okay.
and the Zents that you guys fought, those are who we're calling the Zents, are the ones kicking shit off with the Xanathar Guild.
Okay.
Yeah, the Black Network is doing the shit they used to do. It's the Zents in this that are waging war with Xanathar Guild.
Can you spell Zent? Zent?
Zhents.
Zhents are waging war.
Yeah, because
With
it's
Xanathar.
the Zentarum or something is the full.
Yeah.
But Zents and the Xanathars.
And the Zentarum.
Zentarum are the
Zents-
Zents.
Yeah. Zentarum. Zents is short for Zentarum.
Gotcha.
I mean, originally, the book wants you to go by essentially just the fucking Zentarium and the Zents, and I'm like, that's too fucking confusing. I'm calling them the Black Network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Zents is short for
Okay.
Zentarum. Black
If-
Network.
I had to simplify it even further. I vaguely remember Zents and Xanathar. I remember Xanathar more than Zents, but really, in my head, it's snakes and eyeballs. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And the Black Network are not the Zents, or are they?
Okay.
We need a timeline.
They were. They were.
Okay,
So the
so
Black Network
essen-
was
okay.
the Zent. Sorry.
Essentially, Zentarum was a organization that specialized in, I guess, crime. Doing the mercenary work, connecting people with people who will do work, other services, blah, blah, blah. That's what they did, right? And then half of them, essentially, for some reason that you guys do not know, decided to go away from that work of essentially
Middleman.
mercenary work. Yeah. Essentially mercenary work with all the people that they have in contact with. And instead, half of them decided to get more violent and wage war with the Xanathar Guild. And those are now referred to as the Zents / Zentarum. The people who stayed doing the mercenary work are now referred to as the Black Network, and that is where Davil works. That is
Gotcha.
Davil's group.
Cool.
But for
And-
example, the Kenku you guys found, the ones you fought and the one that you spared was Zentarum. Zents. The ones
Okay.
who are at war with Xanathars.
So the Zents are much more not morally ambiguous. They're just like organized crime
Yes.
to an extent.
So
And the Black Network. Sorry, go ahead.
Black Network is sort of organized crime. Essentially, imagine a mafia that had a civil war. Essentially, half of them went to go wage war with this other gang, and the other half is just doing their usual shit.
Black Network
Mhm.
is like organized crime family. Zents are just a gang.
Yeah.
And
Yes, they're just-
Xanathar
okay.
is just a gang as far as we're aware, but we've not interacted with them much.
hmm
Remaining half.
Okay.
Davil rebranded because half of the fucking Zents are going crazy now.
Favor will just kind of like lift a hand and kind of like turn it in a vague circle. Almost in a like, okay, speed up gesture, but she's not like doing it to speed Mert up. She's just his little shrug. Yeah, all the violence on the street and everything, just those fucking snakes and the eyeballs and everything. We've seen them.
He like leans back in his chair and like picks up his wine glass as he like takes a big sip. It's like seen him, just seen him.
tend to have little tattoos and all that fun stuff to show who they belong to. So yes, we've seen them.
He nods. You fought some of them from what Rainier says. Is that true, or is he being really generous? Because he can be really generous sometimes.
I do remember Rose talking about you guys beating those people up.
If I may have a moment of creative liberty with Clint's backstory, have him at some point
I'm listening.
had very, very little, but have him at some point during his work for Davril encountered the Zents and is it Gavril?
Take out the R.
Davil.
Davil.
Sorry. I legitimately thought it was Davril because I
No.
had Clint get it wrong so many times. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going to Control F Davril now and replace it with Davil. But
But
can I have had Clint in his backstory and the few times that he had worked with Davil encountered the Zents and
yeah,
dealt with them at some point?
if you take a job for the Black Network, it's not hard to have run-ins with either the Zents or Xanathar guilds, because if it's either something involving another gang or you guys are going after the same thing, or honestly just your day-to-day life, you could just run into them. Things are escalating, so they are becoming sightings of them, and encounters with them are becoming more common.
Gotcha. Okay. Then Clint would hold up his hand not sheepishly. What the fuck am I talking about? He's never sheepish. He holds up his hand and just goes, "Well, I know I've run into a few of the blokes. Unlikable bunch, really.
They aren't hard to miss.
I'll say." Kind of wipes his nose.
He scratches his beard, or his mustache. Does he have a beard? I thought he had a beard. He has a mustache.
He has a mustache when he is younger. I have found a picture of young Mert. I should send it to you.
Oh yes, please. I'll use it. Because all I can find is this Mert, and I'm like, okay, cool, but
Let me relocate it. He's an ugly fucker.
yeah.
Would you say that the Zents have become more emboldened?
Yes.
And I have written here that as far as the Black Network is concerned, they have no desire to participate in the open war waging between the Zents and the Xanathar Guild.
Who has no desire?
The Black Network has no
yes,
desire
they
to
have no desire to get
yeah.
involved in that shit.
Yeah, they
just
have
the
no
unfortunate they have the unfortunate ordeal of having been the same, having essentially the same name, sort of. They have rebranded, however, they were once the same, and not everyone is aware of the difference now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Davil is part of the Black Network. There we go. Okay. Wow. This is the most helpful segment of notes in my entire thing right now. Thank you for helping me with that.
Okay, that's Mert.
Uh,
Younger Mert.
He does not look very good in his younger
Nope.
days.
He gets more refined with age. But yeah, he scratches his chin. And he's like, "Oh, they are becoming more active." As he lets out a burp.
Nice one.
Rose scrunches her nose a bit at that.
Slow blink. And then now there is, again, the like, okay, keep going gesture, but now it is moved towards Mert.
I mean, above table. He asked you all a question about your moral standings. Did you guys all answer?
Oh,
Guys-
and then Clint will openly say that, or was that the question about moral standing in regards to like doing moral work? Like, why do we
Yeah.
do moral, or would you be willing to, or why do you work?
Yeah, essentially the like, do you do work for moral reasons to help people or for the money? He's like, he understands doing it for the money.
Mm-hmm.
He gestures to himself. He understands.
Yeah.
Of all people here.
And Clint did say that he does it for both. But if I had to choose one, I would probably say good, though I would probably also still ask for payment. But not be too upset if they didn't have any payment.
I think the only one that has not answered is Feyre, but Feyre has made it fairly clear that she is not really feeling like she needs to answer until she knows what he thinks is good.
Oh boy, we have a stalemate. He does not want to tell more until he knows if you do work to help people or for money. If he gets an answer from everyone.
Just look at Fair and be like, okay, on the count of 3, we'll both say it.
And then neither of you say it.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. It seems like we're at a stalemate here, so I guess we'll be seeing you today. Be seeing you later, maybe.
But we're still gonna do work for you, provided we're all on the up and up with it.
Well, he doesn't want to share unless he gets his answers, and we're not the type who... We can't hear you, Iris.
Oh, Rose will write out, "Why does it matter?" and show it to Mert. If the job's done, the job's done, right? Are you just trying to undercut us? Is that it?
Wait, I missed what you said because of my headphones. I'm very sorry. What did Rose say?
She wrote out to Mert, "Why does it matter? If the job's done, the job's done, right? Or are you just trying to undercut us, trying to lowball us on payment?"
He snorts at that. It's like, man, me lowball someone? Oh man. No, it's really just a matter of if morals align because we do work for a reason, and it's a group that is involved in risk their, well, sometimes their lives for the good of the city. Sometimes their connections, and I just need to know if you value, if you're more altruistic or if you're,
Look, we're not going to go into the nearest convenience store and rob somebody blind, if that's what you're asking. We're not going to go shoot people down needlessly.
I
think that's the best you're going to get, so take the win.
I don't think this is a win. I am quite simply asking, do you care more about money or your morals?
Clint will scratch the back of his head and be like, well, money buys me food, but I can't cook, so I have to hire a chef. Therefore, I must care more about people than money. Which does track, because I did do some heroin work a couple of years ago, and my friends always cooked for me, and I didn't have to pay them a dime.
Okay. Well, if you're not willing to meet us halfway on this, I don't think any of us are willing to meet you halfway and then actually stands up again, strains his tie.
Well, I just met him in the hallway.
Clint, I will be sure to give you some lessons later on what that means.
Above table, I'm really confused at what's happening because it just
I
seems
am
like this is
too.
the wizard module saying, "Hey, you're heroes, right? Tell us you're heroes."
Yeah,
I-
none of us is willing to do that, and and he's not willing to take a "we're not gonna do shit, we're not gonna do bad shit" as an answer. So I'm just like, okay, you're not gonna meet
Well,
us.
how do we progress
meet
the
you.
game?
No, this is fine. Like, you guys do not have to do this. You guys can walk away with this if you would like. He is quite simply asking if your priority is the job or if it's for the good of the people. That is all he is
No
asking.
proper good answer for that for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate side effect of having rogues who, though we have good rogues, we
know.
have morally gray rogues at the same time.
I know. I am
We-
simply saying, okay, your characters can walk away from this.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. Answer, if this is what your characters do, that's perfectly fine.
We do more good than bad, but he's not accepting that as an answer.
You guys have been really fucking vague, to be fair, and have given a lot of not answers to his very simple question, which is understandable. If you get up to get out, he'd be like, he gives like a nod and like they offer a handshake, which is like, you know, a good to meet you, goodbye. And
Yeah.
pulls out, like, more ale. He will probably stand up, stretch a little bit as he goes, like pulls out like a mug, like a tankard, and like fills it with like, apparently there was like a fucking private barrel of ale propped up and ready that he just has like a spigot in. And he fills up his glass and he gives you all a goodbye. He offers a goodbye handshake to you all. Does anyone take it?
I mean, I'll be
Take it.
polite. Good, yeah.
Or I should ask, does anyone not take his handshake goodbye? Feyre, I am looking at you, and Rose.
Huh.
I mean, I guess Feyre, if he's like thrusting a hand out as she's walking by, she'll shake his hand, but not enthusiastically, if that's what you're looking for.
No, just like
Huh.
handshake, goodbye. It's like, okay, cool, bye bye. Rose?
Rose will give her hand and give a handshake. Yes.
Okay. I'm assuming Clint gives handshake.
Yeah. Clint will always enthusiastically give a handshake unless the person is dead.
Clint. Yeah, he shakes your hand.
Okay.
And the door to the private box opens out to the hallway.
Well, everybody, how's about dinner?
Feyre's gonna go back down to the fucking ticket is for the whole opera. She's gonna go back down and finish watching the opera. She doesn't get to see this stuff very often.
Oh, that actually surprises Ashley. Like, oh, I thought you'd be the fish to say, get me out of here. Okay.
When it's music with a purpose, I don't mind it. When it's music at random, that's when I get a little annoyed.
I take offense to that.
Let's just enjoy the show.
Just because you're being very insistent on that. Detect magic on us?
Detect.
You guys
What?
detect
Wait.
magic?
No, I'm
On us?
saying I use detect magic on us.
Okay. None more than usual.
Okay. You were being very insistent on taking Merchant. So
I'm
like,
glad you did because I was thinking the same thing, but I don't have
It's
detect
more so-
magic.
It's more so the okay. He is offering like, okay, this isn't working out. All right, polite thing to do. Handshake, goodbye. Good luck with your life.
Okay.
And it's more so the like, okay, who is really burning bridges here?
Yeah, okay. No bridges burned, but no bridges crossed.
Exactly. That's fine. Do you guys go back to the opera? You had the tickets. You saw half the show.
Yeah, it looks like it.
All right.
And then
You
dinner
guys-
afterward.
Yeah, you guys go back to the opera. It finishes off with a grand finale. There's sparkling like confetti cannons as a last note is ringing out. It is a high C. It was actually a high E, actually.
Damn.
Really fucking impressive.
Single
And it
glass
rings
shatters.
Mm-hmm. But confetti cannons, like, almost drown it out, but it doesn't. It actually perfectly timed with the drums of the most dramatic music as the opera finishes and the curtains close. Roses appear out of midair as people are throwing real roses and just materializing them, and also, like, summoning them. You see someone in the, like, just... You get the sense that, there's a druid in the crowd that is spamming druidcraft.
Druid's
As
like
the show is
constant.
over.
Oh god. Oh no.
Yep. And behind you are, again, Mutt's parents. Mutt and Nice's parents. However, Nice is off doing nice things.
Is that supposed to be a play on words? Nice doing nice things?
Wasn't intended, but I will stick with it.
They got a squeaky toy for Mutt. That's such loving.
They have a squeaky toy for Mutt!
How considerate of them.
In the opera.
As soon as the show is over. But yes, if you guys want to get dinner with them, you can. Or you can just head home.
I think Ashley promised them dinner, so
That is true. Is Mutt going to stay as dog?
Cody.
Cody?
Cody, no!
It looks like we'll take a rain check on that dinner and just go home.
All
no, I'm
right.
going to the tavern on opening day.
Oh yeah, like at end of the night, they're both like, yeah, we would love to get dinner with y'all, but I'm beat. I'm really tired. We have the shop to open up in the morning. Hands like a business card, just like, oh, feel free to drop by anytime. We can come visit you, but we really need to get home now. But it was so good seeing you. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Have fun with your friends.
Yeah, your son owns part of Troll Skull Tavern, so be sure to come on opening day.
Turns to her husband of like, should look at that. Our boy is a leader and a part business owner. Look at him.
Oh my god.
I am absolutely playing Mutt's hype man. I got you, Mutt.
Yeah, Mutt doesn't really
You're back.
own it. I mean, I know theoretically yes, but I really like the idea of Mutt just being like the caretaker for while Nice is away.
Yeah, that's fair.
Both of you own the same part.
A joint ownership of a joint ownership.
Yes, that.
I have a stake in the stake. Thank you very much.
Yes, but Cody, you were here. I thought you were gone.
Nope, sorry.
Okay. Do you want Mutt to have dinner with parents now?
No.
Does Mutt change back at all when they say goodbye?
Like once they've exited the opera house.
Oh yeah, like once they've exited the opera house, it's like the parking lot. Everyone's getting their valets. outside, and just like it's just more of the same that they did when Mutt was dog. Mutt is just fawning and like, look at you, oh my god, I haven't seen you in what, a few weeks. You grew up so much.
Bye. Have fun storming the castle.
Have fun storming the bridge.
They're like, look at you, you got all your friends now, you're a part-time business owner, you're a leader. I'm so proud of you, look at you.
Ashley just flashes Mutt a thumbs up. Very proud of his work as hype man.
You know, I just like patting Mutt's head. It's like, you know, I just thought that maybe you would visit your mother once in a while.
Ooh.
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 I've been busy.
And that's when Ashley just kind of takes a step back, like,
Audible Clint going.
Ashley, who has not talked to his parents in like 10 years, just kind of just said coughs like, let's go to the tavern.
You know, family dinners are not the same without you.
Good time for a
You know,
Rosinger.
And now with Nice off on doing her own work, you know, it's lonely.
I'll start coming every Sunday.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Would you look at that? Look, our boy prioritizes his family. Look at him. And all your friends can come too. I'd love to hear all about them and what you all do, and looking at you, and you can show them all. Oh, we can show them the shop. We can show them all the things. It'll be great. Maybe next Sunday.
Feyre sensing that
Looks to
Mutt-
group.
Yeah, Feyre sensing that Mutt is being backed into a corner now. Go over, just kind of like casually sling an arm around his shoulders. We'll definitely talk about that, but we do need to get going. We did have some work going on at the tavern that we need to check on before it gets too late.
Right. You have important work at the tavern because you guys are all business owners.
Yes, ma'am, we are, but we got to get going.
It was so good to meet you all. Bye-bye.
Pulling Mutt along so it doesn't turn into the 50-minute goodbye.
You see the dad just like also doing the same with her. Like arm around shoulder, like, all right, let's go. We gotta get home. Now, where did I park the carriage? Is the last thing you guys hear.
You got a handful
they aren't
of a
bougie
mama.
enough to get the they aren't bougie enough to get the what's it called,
Valet.
the valet service. Yeah.
No, they parked.
Feyre just once they are at a safe distance, lets go of Mutt, messes up hair. You got a handful of a mama.
Yeah,
She seemed like a nice lady, though.
she's very nice.
So how long has she been your mother?
Like a year? 2 years? I don't really remember.
Wow, she got attached quick. That's nice. Oh.
Heading home.
All right, what's on the agenda next?
Well, first of all, you guys all head home, and Liv has swept up all of the dog hair. It took a while, but he did it. You guys get back to Troll Skull Manor. Same old, same old. It's slowly, the repairs are like, they're starting to show. It's only been a day, but no real repairs have actually been made. It's more so you see the construction spray paint of like on the walls and the floorboards of where they need to replace, and mapping out of where they're going to be working on. And they have like a schedule listed up for you guys of like what they're going to work on this day and this day, so that you guys can all plan accordingly.
That's actually very nice of
Uh,
them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right.
Would have been a I mean, it's a pretty door away.
Look at that boulder. That is a nice boulder.
But yes, you guys are all home. You guys can rest for the evening. Over any talks you guys all want to have. While Lif is somehow managing to usher in giant heap, mutt-sized heap of fur into a bag, a trash bag. As you all walk in, the door bursts open, a gust of wind comes in, and he's like, no. Tries to block it with his body. It goes right through him because he's a ghost.
Oh, sorry about that, friend.
It's like, I spent like 2 hours on that. Alright, well, I'm just gonna start again.
Feyre, now sensing something that she is going to amuse herself with, is just going to hook an arm through Rose's and then catch Ashley around the shoulders, guide them over to a table, and sit them down. Grab them drinks and give them drinks, and then go find a broom to start helping Lif. Make them talk.
Wait.
In front of everyone?
Yup.
You start doing that,
To our room.
and like you set them down at the table, and while you're at the table, Clint will join you, and then you get handed drinks from Feyre, and he just goes, "Can you bring me one?"
You know, I was hoping to talk to Rose privately about this.
Well, that's a shame. Should I plug my ears?
Rose,
He
would you
plugs
like
his ears.
to talk in my room, please?
What?
Oh, no, you should be keeping an eye out here. We need to be meeting our new co-owner, after all.
All right, listen, you damn gossip.
What?
No, you don't care. You don't care about meeting the co-owner. You care about gossip and drama. I know your type.
I care about how the fuck you were just talking about not having a fucking fiance. Just sitting here without saying nothing to us.
Clint unplugs his ears and just goes, "I'm sorry, I have to take my hands out of my ears for the time being. I can't hear what y'all are saying."
I mean, it's been 10 years now. Looks at Rose.
In a few months, change.
10 years and a few months of waiting?
Slow nod.
Wow,
Looks-
that is an impressively long engagement period.
Like, eyes, Ashley, then eyes, Rose. I know you went in the fucking Feywild some shit, and that goes fucking things with time, but how the fuck old were you when you just got engaged?
Well, it was a family thing, so it was announced when I was 6.
Oh, it's a legal thing. Like the whole families uniting under one banner or something, right?
Essentially, yes.
Well, you seem pretty pleased with it, points to Rose. So that's a win,
Well-
right?
We were friends before this, which is why family thought of the idea.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. You know, Rose is a very lovely person, and yeah.
There's eyebrow raise, and Feyre's eye has locked on Ashley and has not moved.
Ain't falling for your guiles, woman. I mean, what do you? It's not like I have an excuse. I was kidnapped. It's not like I was avoiding her. And just leans back.
Yeah, we were very close growing up, and it's just what our parents decided, which I think worked out. But I've been really concerned about Ashley. He disappeared for so long, and honestly, I'm a little hurt you didn't message me when you returned to town.
I kind of just immediately had to get to work. I don't know what to tell you. I haven't even been to say hi to mom and dad yet.
I'm
Looking forward
surprised
to
you didn't go there first.
I mean, I sent them a letter. Hey, I'm alive. Find Ashley. Yeah, figured that would do for now.
Wait, did you fake your own death?
No, I was kidnapped.
Oh. Reaches over and takes your drink.
So who were you kidnapped by? What happened exactly?
I was out, practicing music by, just by the walls. And then I remember hearing music, and I kind of just like followed it, I guess. And the last thing I remember before entering the Feywild was just looking forward a little bit. Next thing I knew, colors and fairies and friggin'
Hmm. What happened while you were there? How'd you return?
a nice fairy took me home. It's got a little bit of an attitude, but as far as fairies go, she's altruistic. And I think she was rebelling against her mother, so that might have been part of it.
How did you survive?
I was in the care of a fairy named Tanya. I kind of had to play music for her every day and night and afternoons. Basically, constantly.
Well, you are great at playing, but that sounds pretty horrible.
I mean, it wasn't so bad. And he kind of looks away, coughs. She was a nice person as far as fairies go, you know.
Yes, because kidnapping means a nice person.
I mean, she gave you this and pulls out his bow.
As compensation?
Sure. I mean, it is a pretty nice bow. Look. And he pulls it, and he begins to play a little harp song, and it turns into a piano, and then drop. I'm a one-man orchestra.
Well, isn't that wonderful?
Uh.
Her signs are becoming a bit more rigid and agitated.
Whispers to Farah. Oh, I think she's getting mad.
You can see Ashley's Foxer sort of tilt back a little bit.
What was that?
I said you could see Ashley's fox ears begin to tilt back a little bit.
Getting a nice bow that can do some magical things is not payment for being kidnapped for 10 years.
I mean,
Do you know how worried everyone was about you?
I was just trying to see the bright side of it, you know. I mean, I'm sure mom and dad are fine. They still had an heir after all.
That's besides the point.
What do you want me to do? I'm sorry for being kidnapped. Is there a Hallmark card for that?
What's Hallmark?
No. No, but maybe you should be a little bit more concerned and upset even.
I mean, what do you want me to do?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Question: how well known is Titania? I assume it's not common knowledge, right? Who she is. DM.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry. I was losing you guys as a drama podcast while I was cleaning up.
Same.
I am not. This is like an actual setting. I feel so. I was like, is Titania a well-known thing in this universe?
Feywilds would be known.
But
I
feel
don't know
like
that
there's not-
Titania herself would be very well known.
Yeah. So her name probably doesn't ring a bell though.
Okay.
Like, maybe if somebody is like really well read or really well traveled, they might have run across the name in vague connection, but
Yeah,
not
wanna roll
like
a
her
history?
being a queen.
You want me to roll history?
I'll let you roll a history if you
Okay.
if you think that Rose is well read.
Yeah, she is. I specifically put points into history, so.
Okay.
Because I'm personally rolling with Feyre knows about the fucking
Nope.
hell, but not anything else.
Nope.
Okay.
Clint knows about random stuff that would be available in general knowledge books.
Mutt knows about the woods.
Oh, I piss in
Say
those
that.
sometimes.
You do not.
my God.
Same.
Oh my god.
Okay.
You know about the Feywild, maybe a little more because you are well read than the average person. However, the name Titania does not ring any bells.
Well, perhaps we should go to this Titania and.
Oh no! Oh shit! You know who she is. You know who she is.
Nope, you already said she doesn't.
I know. I'm just kidding.
and take something of hers.
I mean, like, time works differently in the Feywild, so it's like, it's not like it was 10 years for me, you know? It's only like 1 or 2, so it's not like, you know.
Oh. So just because it wasn't 10 years for you, just for you, it just weighs it all aside. Because, you know, it was 10 years for me.
Come to think of it, she does have something of ours.
Sorry, drink's empty.
What does she have?
Well, she took all of my belongings when I got there. You know, to quote, and he does air quotes, Flynn's the human, you know? And that's also why I got these, and he taps his head to his ears, which kind of twitch a little bit.
She tilts her head a little confused at first, but then looks at your hand.
Yeah, dude, there's no ring on it. He kind of whistles innocently.
Let's see what spells I have.
Oh no.
Zone of truth. Zone of truth. Zone of truth.
Sadly, I don't have anything like that.
Damn it.
Let's see. No, that won't help. None of this would help, sadly.
I mean, you are allowed to do a little bit of damage. A tiny bit. Pissed off fiance.
You?
Yeah, I mean, what kind of magic
Okay.
does she have innately? Flavor. I'm giving you free
You know
reign.
Flavor
Yeah.
magic.
She
Like-
she has
She's angry, I imagine. This is the
She
big
has-
shock. Some
yeah.
magic can flare out. Your discretion.
she has sword burst, which she's not going to attack. I want to point out, but you see these little daggers flare up around her, kind of spark out of light and darkness.
What?
And they spark into existence as she grabs his hand
What? I need that. I need that
and
hand.
and she psychically connects to Ashley and screams in his head.
Ah!
You let her take your ring.
What do you want? To be fair, I was small teenager and literally an army of fairies.
We have drinks next to us, correct?
Yeah, you
Yes.
definitely do.
Clint will hand you half of the. He only drank half of it, so he'll hand you the remaining half, and just as you're like groping for a drink, just slide it closer to you.
How about a bath, huh? An alcoholic bath?
No. How about we don't? Why are you blaming me? It's
Do it.
I guess I really gotta go to Hallmark and get a sorry I was kidnapped. You make it sound like it's fucking my fault, and that's not fair to me.
Just low whistle from Feyre, and she is going to take
She
a
will
good,
slap
healthy
him.
step away.
She will just straight up slap him.
Oh, Feyre, you take a step away, you see a lip in your peripherals. As the slap connects, you see him just like go so transparent.
Blink out of existence. I'm not here.
What's the?
Yeah, he's invisible, but you can tell enough that he is there. He's just invisible now.
You know, I heard blaming the victim was the thing that happened, and he yanks his hand away. I'll be in my room. Walks up the stairs. And then you hear a very loud door slam.
Rose takes her fist and slams it into the bar counter.
Farah just like another like low whistle and then looks towards her. It just kind of like stares at hand, stares at face, stares at hand. Don't go breaking nothing here. We just getting it fixed now. Can't have you breaking nothing.
Takes a deep breath and nods and signs sorry. Like really shorthand, kind of not putting the effort in kind of thing.
Well, just like gets up to go get another drink. Would anybody else like one while I'm up and about? You know what? I'm just gonna get like 3 or 4.
Rose was gonna raise her hand, but just nods.
Well, that was fun.
Lip slowly becomes uninvisible.
Oh no. Oh.
He moved a few feet though. He's right by Farah.
Farah will catch it in her periphery that he's slowly become uninvisible, and she will wait a moment and then spin around. Boo!
You see him jump, freak out, go invisible again. And like also his sound cuts off. His scream cuts off as he goes incorporeal.
Olive, Farah just starts chuckling to herself and motions vaguely towards the space that he was just in. Rosette, we live. This is Rosette, the new fiance. New pod owner. Apparently Leto decided to just go fuck off.
he appears again
Half
in the same
assed
space. Oh, he doesn't. What first happens is that Feyre, like a cup with mostly ice, Clint's first drink, that was just ice and a straw, knocks over next to Feyre, spilling onto her, and then he appears next to her. He's like, hello. This might not be the best time, but welcome.
Friendly ghost.
Most of the time. And she's like picking up the cup and like setting it right again and looks towards him and like wiggles her fingers and you see like the frost growing on her fingers. Very much just like, that doesn't work.
You get wave from Liv.
Rose has one hand, like, she has her elbow on the bar and her forehead in her one hand, and she waves with the other hand.
She can't talk as far as I'm aware, so I don't know if you know how to translate that, but that's the only way she talks. Unless she talks in your head. Can you do that to ghosts?
Well,
What does
I
that know?
imagine you probably can if the ghost still has a head, right? Well,
Do you
what
still
sort of
have a
thing
head
was the
somewhere? Well, you're really old, so your head's probably gone.
I have a grave. I'm
We
pretty
could
sure
go
my
dig it
skull
up.
is there. Please don't. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Fair point.
I mean, I think I have an old chalkboard in the attic.
You want chalkboard?
She shakes her head and just kind of pulls out of one of her pockets or her coat pocket the notepad she had.
He's nod. He witnessed all of that drama. He's like, joins Clint behind the bar. She kind of just like materializes next to Clint, and starts to bartend.
Clint got 4 drinks, so he slides one over to Liv.
And Liv can't drink, so he will essentially assist Clint in making the drinks.
It's the gesture. We understand
Listen,
he can't drink.
you
We're still gonna
always-
put one in front of him.
It's more so like it's whenever, obviously I know that you guys know, but it's to like emphasize the fact that he goes for it, and then his hand passes through it.
Oh.
It's like, I can't. However,
Oh.
waves hand, and it slides to Feyre. Pulls out his mug, his like ghost mug.
To simulate
is-
drinking.
Yeah, to simulate drinking, because he feels weird without one.
Just one of these times, I want him to put his ghost drink overlapping with the actual real drink, so it's like eating like the plankton eating hologram food.
Oh hell yeah, let's do that.
He picks it up, drinks it, and sets it back down. The amount of liquid never changes.
Mm-hmm. But you can, I will say, just for the flavor of it, that like he is not actually getting drunk. However, the liquid in his mug does change as he drinks it.
Ah,
However, whenever he summons it, it's full.
perfect. I
And
just
I
want
will-
him to feel welcome in
Yeah,
his
yeah,
own bar.
If you had, I will just tell you guys this. The reason why I'm like this is possible is my headcanon is that Liv died while he was pouring himself a drink.
Oh no!
So his ghost to his mug with liquid in it.
That's
Ghost
so
liquid.
sad, but it's so
How-
good.
But how perfect is that for a tavern owner bartender though, Ghost?
It is perfect.
Yeah. So he's not really like getting drunk, obviously. However, he is drinking ghost liquid as Ghost. Whenever he like materializes his cup. So like he drinks with you guys. He maybe like after Clint makes an extra drink, just like lifts up a bottle
Fucking Piper,
of
be
like
patient.
gestures
no.
to what?
I was gonna
Oh,
try
shit.
for a fucking character moment, you bastard.
Oh, okay,
God.
okay, I'll wait.
Be patient.
Essentially Lip offers if Rose wants a double.
Nod.
He will pour it and add it to Rose's glass that Clint is mixing. Or pouring out. It's like, here's an extra.
She gives a weak smile to both Clint and Liv in thanks.
Just nods.
So you were really
So-
ready for the whole engaged, marry, that whole thing, right?
What was that? I missed the first part. I'm sorry.
She was just, essentially said, like, you are really ready for the whole engage and get married and be married thing.
She nods and pulls off the promise ring that she has and sets it in front of her.
Oh, shit.
And when she takes it off, her dress seems to have a little less shimmer to it.
Oh.
And it's almost like out clothes don't deflate, but it's almost as if like something that was in it just vanished when she took off the ring.
Oh boy.
She sets the ring down and takes a long swig of the drink. But nods to Fair's question. And she'll keep, after taking a long sip, she'll say, "I've been waiting a long time. I almost lost hope that he wasn't going to come back. We didn't really know what happened to him."
So you waited 10 years for an rain? Okay.
Yeah. I put it in the dryer.
What
Yeah.
can I say? I love him.
Clint just
What?
shakes his head, and not in a disapproving way or trying not to be condescending, but he will shake his head and just go, "Well, shit, that's a tough one, isn't it? Love makes you do crazy things, dude. No." Kicks back a drink, as if to like that explains the entire sentiment.
She'll give a soundless laugh at Clint. But just sigh. I didn't want to upset him. I've just been really worried, and it seems like he doesn't care. Like, it just all makes up for it, because he is back. But it doesn't. Am I wrong?
I am going to say something for Clint. This does not speak for Joe's assessment of the situation, but Clint just like shakes his head no, and he'll say, "In my experience, when a woman is this upset, she's never wrong." And he just kicks back a drink.
Pinch nose.
Mom ever taught me better than that.
Just pinching bridge of nose. Yeah, it's just kind of like head picked back up, and you just get this like gesture with the hand. Oh, you're right to be feeling the way you are, more than likely, yes. I wouldn't exactly know. I wouldn't ever wait for nothing or nobody for 10 whole fucking years, but you have every right to be feeling how you're feeling. However, if, Ashley was indeed kidnapped, it was not his fault. And we cannot say exactly how everything went there. To be fair, my experience with Ashley, I don't know exactly how much of him made it back, and she just kind of like gestures vaguely to the head. But generally when people held against their will or taken against their will or any of that nice unpleasant line of work, they process how they gonna process.
She thinks over Farah's words and gives a small nod. I guess you're right.
Clint nods to Fair and just goes, "This is exactly what I'm talking about. Another woman, clearly upset, isn't wrong."
Gives a very weird look to Clint.
He is saying this with the utmost, like, yes, you are 100% correct, Farah. Trying to be helpful.
Farah just staring at him, considering for a long moment. His like tail doing the like very slow cat shift behind her. And then she decides better of what she was considering. And she closes her eye and shakes her head slightly. Yeah, Clint, why don't you go find an extra room for Rose here and help her get everything set up. I'll check in on y'all in a minute. And she will get up and head upstairs towards Ashley's room. Since nobody's talking, she'll knock on Ashley's door.
Briefly,
I want to see this.
Briefly, like you see an eye peek out from the crack of the door. Sees it's not Rose, and then opens the door.
Yeah, she sees the eye, and she's just being like, I ain't your fiance. Don't worry. She ain't behind me no.
Fast opening. Makes sense.
Nods, open the door. He's taken off the first part of his coat, so it's like the white shirt with the overalls.
She will invite herself in.
Yeah, you know, you kind of figured.
And she does not venture very far into the room, just far enough to get out of the door and have the door close. Just crosses her arm and kind of like sizes Ashley up for a second. You in some deep shit, you know that?
He just lets out a long breath. Yeah. Usually him these days, huh?
Well, there's a difference in the deep shit that we get in because we are in the questionable side of things. This is why did you not think to go talk to a woman you were engaged with?
Long sigh. Not that. I figured she would have moved on by now. How awkward would it have been to be like, "Hi, I'm back."
I mean, there is a difference between "Hi, I'm back. I still want to marry you," or "Are you gonna marry me?" and "Hi, I'm back. I'm still alive. Just thought you might want to know because you were my friend at one point before you were my fiance."
Yeah.
She is cooling down. I will not say she has cooled down, but she is cooling down. So you may not be in as much a pile of steaming shit in the morning.
I mean, she's valid in her feelings. Not like I understand that she did wait 10 whole years. I didn't think she would have waited, but I figured her family would have forced her to move on, presuming me dead or, that sort of thing. And I didn't want to make it weird.
I mean, fair. She did have a little bit of a point, though. You are surprisingly unbothered by all this.
He blinks. It's like, I mean, what happened happened. I can't do anything about it. No.
But I can understand that. Trust me, I can. I've had a whole bunch of unpleasant things happen in my lifetime, but you do not seem annoyed or angry or sad or frustrated. You just actually seem to almost brag about it at moments.
He just kind of sighs. I don't know what to say, or do, or feel. This is very confusing, and I don't know why my brother would do this to me. I'm gonna make sure to find him and I'm gonna make sure all of his clothes and his precious fortune are thrown out and replaced with skirt. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And you can see the light return to his eyes as he begins plotting revenge on his brother.
There's confusion and concern that the plotting starts with replace pants with skirts as the grand scheme. But she does not stop the plotting necessarily. She just waits for a minute.
Yeah. They'll torch his room. Getting progressively violent.
If I may ask, though, you say you don't know how to feel about all this, but do you know how you currently feel?
Frustrated.
In what regards?
I don't know. Just feeling like I got blamed for being kidnapped, and that's very annoying. You know?
Well, that is fair. She's processing, so she was going to do what she was going to do. But I was leaning a little bit more towards how you feel about the situation that you did find yourself in.
Well,
It almost sounds like you did not mind being in the Feywilds and being kept by Titania.
he kind of just coughs slowly, like, well, I didn't really have anywhere else to go after I got kidnapped. It's not like I could go home. And Titania did care for me, even if she did kidnap. Yeah, I played a lot, but I had good food, the scenery was beautiful. So, it's not like I was in a prison, you know?
That's fair, but trapped is trapped still. You do understand that you were a prisoner still, though, right?
He kind of looks down. If I think about it logically, yeah. Doesn't feel right.
Well, you being honest that it was only, 2 years for you?
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure of the exact time frame, but it doesn't feel like 10 years. like I said, time gets very funky. Maybe 1, 2, maybe even 3, or maybe it's only a couple months, but it didn't feel like a full decade.
Are you, how should I put this? Are you even, happy at all to be here? Away?
He pauses to think about that. Everything feels very foreign to me now. You know? I feel time displaced and world displaced. So it's hard to feel really any sense of belonging right now, you know? I mean, I figured everybody just moved on without me, and Waterdeep's changed over the past decade, apparently.
Do you actually want to try and feel like this is home again, or is it not even something that has crossed your mind?
It hasn't really even crossed my mind, to be honest. Right now, I'm just trying to make my own way. I figure it's only a matter of time before my dad cut me off. Because right now I still have access to the credit line, so I'm trying to get my own stake in things and try and build up my own cash, thus the tavern.
Are you, planning on going and talking to your mom and pop?
Wasn't planning on it, not so long as I have these. Twitch again.
You think they're gonna be a little bit more concerned about that than about the fact that their son has just walked back through the door after a decade?
I'm sure they'd be happy to see me, at least on an emotional level, but it is still a noble house of Waterdeep. Things like that just don't get swept under the rug, you know?
She's kind of like head side to side, like vaguely understands, but also not noble in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. So I figured I would just cruise along until I managed to get my own startup. Once I felt more comfortable, it's probably just gonna drop the Estelmer name altogether, you know? Give up the title and all that.
Well, I mean, that's your choice. I would not know how to even process that. I ain't got a name of my own anyway, so you do what you feel like you need to do, but are you gonna be able to do all this and, have her? And she just kind of like gestures vaguely towards the door.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have a talk soon. It's like... And he just groans. I will say one thing about the Feywild.
You cut out there, Piper. I didn't hear that.
I said I'll give one thing about the Feywilds, that it was a lot simpler.
Feyre looks like she's about to say something, and then you see the little shake of the head. She does not say anything.
Oh, gone? What were you saying?
Just came in here to make sure you weren't gonna do anything, too drastic after all that. Did not expect that conversation to be nearly that explosive. Though, to be fair, I don't think you did either, so it's bad plots all the way around. Just give her some time. She'll come around. I don't know that she'll actually necessarily understand. I only kinda, barely, tiny bit understand. She, like, fingers very close together gesture. But, I'd imagine she's got enough of a good head on her shoulder that she'll be okay by morning. Just keep your head down for the night. And maybe make sure you don't come down until after she's had a cup or two of coffee.
I was actually just about to sneak out and go grab a drink, so probably be back by morning.
Well, don't do anything too stupid. Because apparently we got all these fucking gangs. Starts going on this fucking rant and ramble about just the bullshit that's apparently going on that they keep trying to get dragged into. Starts turning towards door.
Yeah, that Merc guy was super annoying.
Good.
I don't like dealing with stuck-ups.
Do not take this the wrong way, but fucking the richer you are, the more of an assy you are, more farther up your own ass that your head is. What the fuck was he? She's like muttering.
No, you're right. You're right. Money does something to you. I don't know what, but it does something.
Just nods very firmly.
Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully, when I come back tomorrow, I'm not covered with eye tattoos and, I love Xanathar on my chest. So that's the worst case scenario. If that happens, you can kill me. I understand.
Well, thank you for the permission. Not that I was going to ask before killing you if I needed to, but thank you.
Happy to help a friend, and you give the thumbs up.
She just nods and moves towards the door to let herself out, and then just kind of pauses and looks back over her shoulder at him. And it's kind of at this weird angle where she's had to turn just a little bit further than normal so she can see him with her one good eye. And it's... I may not necessarily need to be saying this, but it might be worth a little bit of time and effort on your half to, I don't know, figure out how to process everything that you've been through a little bit more than you may currently be. Because I doubt this is going to be the first I doubt this is going to be the only time that you're going to encounter a situation like this if you come from the city.
You can see he was halfway out the window when you stopped him, and he just kind of stops to listen to you. And he kind of trips over the window, but catches himself I'll try.
And
Thank you for checking on me, he says as he jumps out the window.
And Pharaoh will have to remember to tell Lift not to close the window.
Pretty please and thank you. And with an obvious please don't tell anybody I left. Ashley's gonna go get drunk. Fuck this.
Pharaoh is going to find some fucking accessory of Ashley's and fucking hide it before she leaves the room now.
You bitch.
Just pettiness.
I trusted you.
Amazing.
She can be nice, but also Ashley and her irk each other just enough. It's I'm gonna find the one thing that he's gonna look for in the next week, not tomorrow, in the next week, and hide it someplace he's not gonna look.
You bitch.
One of his cufflinks.
Yeah, one of my cufflinks. I can't wear one. You know how tiny those things are?
They have his initials on them.
Yeah, one has the A, one has the E. I can't just go with one. No, you hid the A. The E's still there. Where'd you put it? You couldn't have taken the E one with my last name. You had to take my name. You had to steal that from me.
No, that's the one you care about more because it does have the A on it. It's the shinier one.
It's the one that's polished.
Yeah, one's clearly more shined up than the other.
Amazing. Out of curiosity, where does Feyre hide it?
Trying to figure out where Ashley would not look. Ashley's a snobby rich brat. Fucking under the trash bin.
It will take him a while to find that.
What kind of barbarian would shove something dear underneath the garbage?
I don't think Ashley's that snobby, though.
There's a fireplace. You can stuff it in the ashes.
Throw it in the ashes.
He's
Oh
not
my
that
God.
snobby, but he has a ghost that is taking care of the chores for him. Be honest, how often is he gonna think to like pick up the trash can?
I mean, he's cooked. He cooks breakfast for you guys.
Yeah. However, Lift 100% nightly empties out everyone's personal trash bin.
God damn it, Liff.
It's stuck to like the bottom. She's done something to like stick it.
Poke it through the bottom.
It's like part of the trash bin. Lift just takes out the bag and replaces the bag. Okay. Meanwhile, downstairs, the boys are bonding with a cooling down Rosette.
Yeah. It's
by-
been just like initially it was Clint trying to figure out if they can play like quarters or like some kind of other really stupid drinking game, and he's like, well, you can't hold coins, so you can't do quarters. Well, what can you do?
Lift is a poltergeist, so Lift can interact with shit.
Oh shit! We can
How do you think
play
he does
quarters now.
chores?
Well, that's a good point, actually. I thought he might be magic. In which case, I guess poltergeists are magic. I have no idea what I'm on.
He pulls out, he like waves a hand and like a deck of cards comes flying across the room onto the table. He's like, I don't think ghosts can do magic. I don't want to know the difference between, or the correlation between magic and ghosts. I'd rather not think about it. I'm just gonna start dealing.
That sounds good to me. And, like, immediately is going into like shuffling the cards. He's kind of good at it. He's pretty dexterous.
Is our Mutt, and he would deal for both Mutt and Rosette as well.
Yeah, Rose definitely leans in like she's wants to get her mind off things, so she leans in like she's willing to play.
Yep.
Finishing her drink, sliding it over to get a refill.
Oh, don't worry. Wave of his finger. Refill.
Well, probably doesn't understand the rules, but we'll play.
Rose is gonna get sloshed.
Joe, I imagine that Clint starts talking about a game, starts describing a game.
Uh-huh. He's just talking about it's basically just blackjack or something. Just like a really weird form of blackjack.
Yeah. However, whatever game that you start describing, Liv is just like, wait a second. Are you talking about red and black?
Just blinks like, well, no, I was talking about a different game. What the hell's red and black? Do you mean like the colors on the cards?
He points, you're describing the rules of blackjack. He's like, no, that's red and black.
Like, I don't think we're talking about the same thing, because blackjack is when you do, like, you get to 21 and you have like the ice and the whole
Exactly.
thing.
But no, that's the rules for red and black. I think you have it confused.
He puts his hands on his hips and like narrows his eyes, like, are you trying to pull a fast one on me?
I used to play this all the time back in the day. It was we had red and black nights.
No fooling? Wait, when was back in the day?
Like, thanks back to the year you guys told him it was. A couple hundred years, I think.
Well, that explains it. And he just like he looks very pleased with himself, like he solved a mystery of just, yeah, the ghost remembers the card game when he was taught it.
Yeah, it had a different name back then. It's the same game. It's blackjack, but he knows it as red and black. And all the terms
perfect.
are slightly different.
It's every time there's a slight difference, it constantly catches catches him by surprise, and he's just like, yeah. So you deal out from the head, like the dealer position, and it's just like, oh yeah, that's the X, and he's like, okay, well, now we call it this. You have to like relearn blackjack from the beginning to like understand. Okay, he's what is the thing that you use for this thing? What is the word?
Yeah, all different terms. Terms are just slightly different, though.
That's perfect.
How are Rose and Mutt learning?
How or what?
How are they learning?
As in, like, how are they doing learning from? Like, do you think they pick it up
Are
easily?
they watching the card game and hanging out, or are they just like watching this transpire in the same way that you people watch and just like, wow, look at him go, huh?
I figured that. I mean, deal for everyone, so everyone is learning. I'm just more so asking, how easily do your characters pick it up?
Not easy.
Rose has played it a couple times before.
Okay. What is the biggest issue Mutt has with the game?
The rules?
Oh, yeah.
All of it.
Just all of it in general? Okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was just like...
Mutt's just like,
you know what?
how
That's
is
fair.
this? How is this fun? These are bits and pieces of cardboard. This is not entertaining.
You know what is
really
entertaining?
trying to portray a Mowgli / George of the Jungle vibe here.
Oh, yeah. No, I got you. You know what does sound entertaining, though?
Eating the card?
Squeaky.
Or the squeaky toy.
Oh
Someone brought
man,
me his squeaky.
we should get Mutt a squeaky.
Would Mutt actually like that, or would he be offended that
No.
we're just like
Offended. That's not wolf stuff, that's dog stuff.
Yeah, it's for the dogs you guys are going to get in the future.
I am offended you would think that I, a wolf, would be appeased with a mediocre doggy toy.
But if you threw it, would he chase it? Probably.
and they
Right
get
away?
mad that he chased it.
Be like, I'm going to bed. Takes squeaky toy with him.
It's mine. I don't. This is beneath me, but it's mine. No take.
I just want you to know that I think this is pathetic on your end, not mine.
Really shameful.
Oh boy. But yes, they're playing blackjack. If either of any of you would like to start a conversation, now is your chance.
We're close. What do you got some stuff, Iris?
Rose is just trying to get her mind off of the fight from earlier and is trying to enjoy the game while also getting very, very drunk. So eventually it'll get to a point where her siding is just kind of like fumbling over her fingers a little bit.
Drunk signing.
Like, it's like you said earlier, she's cooling off, but no, actually her cheeks are really red and getting really warm from the alcohol.
Cliff just looks at Mutt and Clint as he's like taking all the cards because the round just finished and starts shuffling them. Looks at both of you just like, is it bedtime for some of us?
Pretty close to it. But I have one more question, and I have to ask it before we become better friends. And he points between himself and Rose. He's like, since things are a little tense, are you considering yourself available?
Oh my god.
Facepalm. With face palms.
You can say no. I figured I'd ask now before we became better friends and it became a bigger issue.
This is the wrong time to ask her that.
Yeah.
Right before she speaks.
I know.
Like, wait. So the queen is the card you want?
She starts citing as Mutt cuts in and falls out of her chair.
Oh, goodness. I'm just going to assume that is a no, and he will get down and try to help her up.
uh, turns to Mudge is like, yes, good job, Mutt. That is the card you want, but maybe help Clint.
He will do so.
Comes out of room right around the time that they're dragging the very drunk Rose to her room.
She's trying to, like, I imagine her arms are around you guys, so like you guys are helping her through, and she's like trying to sign on the other side to your shoulder, so it's not working.
Just looking at her and or looking at Farah, just like, yeah, she had a bit too much to drink. I think she was having fun and not drinking away her sorrows.
Feyre, like, when she sees that at first, she, like, raises her hand and, like, double checks, like, she's not got any, like, weird shit in front of her eyes. Her eye patch is on the right eye. It's like... Oh, no, you keep telling yourself that. Make sure she gets... Actually, you know what? I probably should help her.
Fair enough. And he will relinquish help to her.
Just lift and heave Rose, and just like go make sure that her bed and everything is taken care of, and that there's nothing unpleasant in her room, because we want to make sure that none of that's there. So I don't know if she's necessarily the type that knows how to deal with that.
Rose leans on Farah, wraps her arms around her. It's like leaning really hard against her.
Okay. Okay, you two are gonna be problems. I can tell it right now. I might actually kill Leto.
What do you know? Rose's room is Leto's room. Inside, he packed up all his shit. All of it's gone.
Oh no.
He bounced. But it's a free room now. Now it's Rose's room.
With an actual semi-decent bed, because we replaced the beds.
Yep.
Clint gets there after Rose and gets no room. Or before Rose and gets no room. He would be fine with it too. He'd just walk up and be like, oh hi, there's a free room where that other guy was. I guess you get his room?
He gets whatever Rose 13 was in.
There's more rooms than just the 5 rooms. It's a tavern.
Fair. I thought that one of the rooms would be like lifts. Sorta.
That's
Ghost
the
get
attic.
room.
He
The
gets
attic
the
is
attic.
room.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Clint
But
probably
Rose's
gets the
room.
smallest room, because 13 probably would have had the smallest room. But
True.
he gets a
True.
room.
Yeah, there are enough rooms for each of the players and a dice, whatever I roll for amount of guests. It's a fucking manor.
Hell yeah.
She drops Rose onto the bed, carefully but also kind of unceremoniously. She's like, okay, now you're hugging a little too much, get off. And it's like, she drops her on the bed, picks her feet up, puts her feet up, and then rolls her so that she's like away from the side of the bed, and just like drops blankets on her. Not necessarily neatly, but they're on. And turns and walks out and shoves the boys out in front of her.
Oh, I'm going. Don't worry about it.
I have one question for you, Iris.
Uh-huh.
Where is Rosette's promise ring?
It's on the bar.
Thank you. That's what I thought. Just wanted to confirm
Yep.
it.
Oh no.
like, yeah, lift's not touching that with a 10-foot pole. It's staying there. Cleans
I
up
was-
all the glasses around it.
There's a
I
nice
was-
like little dust ring.
I was literally thinking like, oh, she forgot her ring down there, and then you asked, I'm like,
Yep.
yep.
I was like, oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. You guys all going to bed?
Roses.
Yeah, obviously Rose has been tucked in the Pharaoh way.
Thanks, Sarah.
You guys are gonna be problems.
Ashley is going to the yawning portal for a drink.
I was about to ask you, Ashley, where'd you go?
Ashley
You
went
went
to
to
the
the
yawning
yawning
portal.
portal?
Yeah.
Okay. You just
Gonna
wanted
go
just
talk to
drink?
nervous Volo.
Oh, yeah. Did you just want alone time, or did you want to talk to anyone there?
I don't want to talk to anybody in particular. Maybe play some music, get a little bit of chump change.
Okay. Obviously, you have to speak to Durnan, but that is just ordering drinks.
Yeah.
He's not the most talkative. He will serve you with a nod of like acknowledgement of like, "Hello, I know you. Here's your drink."
I have a line of credit with my family here, so can I get a room tonight?
He'll like open up like a logbook and starts flipping through it, and he nods, hands you a key.
Thank you.
It's on the highest floor though, so hope you're okay with taking the stairs.
I am.
Alright. You buy some drinks, roll me a roll me a D6.
D6.
You get 6 gold. Your heart's not your
Hell yeah.
the music isn't feeling you're not feeling it at the
Yeah,
moment.
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
That's the-
But your sorrow, at first you couldn't make with the happy music that taverns typically have, but eventually just like, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna play the sad and angsty music that I feel in my heart, and that's when you get like a tip, tearjerker song.
Made the bar cry.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the 6 gold. Happily.
Okay, you go to bed, call it a night, and I say we call it a session.
Hey, we did it. We did it, gang.
God damn, I see now what gets the rogues intrigued, and it's drama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Y'all are